Hello everybody, this is Havin Olmasi. We are here today for another episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program .90 with Havin. It is worth pointing out though that I am also here at home waiting for Clothes Dryer to be delivered. So if you tuned in to watch Let's Wait for Clothes Dryer to be delivered with Havin, you do not worry, you are in the right place. Also, theme song will say one thing, but you know why you're here.
Yeah, this is Havin show. Let's play.
Hello everybody, so last episode we decided to go to the moon, but we could not do it because we didn't have enough parts we could use, and we didn't have enough money, and we made some poor decisions. This episode, my temptation is to go to moon, but I would rather have some of these other parts first. Maybe not those parts so much, I like that one, I like the winglet. It's tempting to spend money on these, and then I can go to space with them, but if I use, let's say, 4 lander legs, and one of these, or 4 of these, ideally I want to use 5, that is like a third of the parts that we can use right now. We can only use 30 parts, and we cannot upgrade our vehicle assembly because it costs so much. So what we are going to have to do is, much like a real space program, we have to whore ourselves out for money. So let's see what we've got here for missions we can do. We'll zoom right down to the bottom to 3-star missions, because they will give us most money, and even some science, so maybe we get better parts that we don't need to use so many of. Because that is the goal. I want to build nice, wonderful rocket stations and ships so that you can watch me do these things and you can learn to do them maybe perhaps yourself. But in the meantime, what we really want is what all people want. 6, money, power. In not necessarily that order, but today we need money. But really we want power. That is what it is about. So let's take a look. We have, we can take 7 active missions. Explore the moon we have right now, and that will make us quite a bit of money. But we cannot do that right now, so let's try all this other stuff. Just a Rockomax brand decoupler. I don't know offhand what the 48.7 is. The Rockomax decoupler is huge decoupler. So getting this thing to space will not necessarily be easy. But it gives us $55,000 and 41 science and 652 reputation, so what the heck. Regardless of how difficult or unsafe it is, we're gonna do it. Let's be honest with each other, that is why we're here, to push the boundaries of science. No matter who pays the cost. Alright, Jebediah Kerman will not feel anything when he crashes into ground. His family, that is other subject, but they are not on our payroll. We are not obligated to them. Alright, what's this one? The 48, I don't know what the 48.7 is. But it's Rockomax, and Rockomax things are typically big. Got to test it while orbiting. It is $54,000. But if it is a giant engine and I've got to push it up into space, I'm going to need more than 30 parts. So maybe we put that on hold. What is this jet engine one? This one, I have to get up to 12,000, 13.4. Wanted to test it in flight. What is speed? 280 to 680. I could be going that fast at that height, potentially. It is actually, I have to accelerate pretty fast to get up to 280 by 12,000. And if I'm holding a jet engine to test, that will make things a little dodgy. Alright, screw it. Let's get the 48.7s. I don't know what it is. Hopefully it is not going to screw us. Pardon my profanity. So let's take a look at what we are working with here. What is our Rockomax 40? Oh, that is not so bad. Is that the Poodle? No, that is just a regular little engine. Okay, that will be perfect. We'll get that into space. So let's look at our qualifications here. We really didn't ask for a whole heck of a lot. Test the engine in orbit. That's good, we'll put that as last part. So our goal now, we're just going to orbit. High orbit, by the look of it. Because we have to get to orbit between these and these. So let's build ourselves our little control pod. And we put, parachute on it, so Kerbals don't die so much. Oh, I made that the control part. I made the engine the control part. Let's start over. I like for this to be control part. I am old-fashioned. Put one of those on there. Maybe we don't need something that's so big. Okay, little thing. Just to top off orbit if we have to, and of course to deorbit and keep everybody from dying. Oh, that is tiny engine. I did not notice that. That is more for probe, I think, but I don't have any probe. I wonder if it can even push something. It's got 30 thrust. It's got 30 thrust. It will push that. It will have to be good enough. So now, what we want to do? Oh, we need to put that parachute back on so we don't die, and then we're going to do some other stuff. We need that decoupler. We'll make it the last thing that pops off because... Okay, that is not mismatched at all. Not at all. It is perfectly normal spacecraft. I don't know what you're talking about. But we have everything we need right now. Just to stage these a little differently. To test, because we'll get all the way up into orbit. We'll get this whole thing into orbit, and then we will eject at the prescribed altitude. When do we do the other thing? We test the engine at orbit. Okay, oh, these are both orbit and both pretty much same orbit, so perfect. We'll get these both to orbit and do our thing. So now we got to get all these nonsense up to orbit using no more than 25 more parts. That should be pretty easy. Let's build a middle stage. We will have 3-stage rocket. This is the 3rd stage, so what is the 1st and the 2nd? I'm just clicking buttons back and forth. Look at this. That is professional rocket right there. You can see it, therefore you know it must be true. Let's go ahead. We're definitely going to want gimbaling on this part. Do I want to make a secondary stage? Do I have? I don't have fuel parts yet. I don't have hose. I always forget what parts I have until I'm looking at the parts I do not have. So that will be our intermediate stage, which means our bottom stage has to be pretty powerful to get all of these up high enough. So let's get some... Do we want to use these? We had bad luck with these last time in that my rocket did not want to fly straight. We don't have any kind of reaction wheel. Alright, so let's do it this way. Let's use all of the maximum parts that we have. Let's build center station core with 3 of these. How do I want to do this? Do this in a way that is not going to kill us all. Don't need... Yeah, maybe I do need gimbaling on bottom stage. How many parts do we have left? 18? That is a lot of parts. So... maybe we'll throw another fuel tank. Make this thing impossibly long. And then we will get some radial decoupler. And some of these things. I am not sure I can get all of this to orbit. How about that? That should be pretty sturdy, right? That is 29 parts, and I have no struts anywhere in here. Do you think this is stable? Well, let's... we don't need a lot of thrust on these since there are so many. So we will burn the solid engine, then we will eject them all. Then we will go to that engine, which is bottom engine. Break that off, go to this engine, which should not be at the same stage as the Rockomax decoupler. Alright, can it get to orbit? The answer is in the part of the craft. Probably not. But you know what? We did not get into science program to save lives. We got into science program to prove that we could risk them. So, let's save that and let's go... Well, I don't want to go right to launch. No, let's not go right to launch. Here's why. It seems like it is always night when we launch, and it makes for boring space travel. So let's go to the daytime. It is not going to the daytime. Oh, there we go. Whoa, it is going very fast now. No, it is not. That is 100x. That is how fast time moves at 100 times the speed of sound. There we go. Now sky is moving. Where are you, son? There we go. Alright, it is daytime. Let's launch this thing. If it is not too heavy. I'm now wondering if it is not too heavy. Let's launch it with Jebediah Kerman. Alright. The launch pad has accepted our design. We should be able to fly straight up in the air. And then maybe do some orbital things. But if we cannot get to orbit, we have blown $20,000 on this extravagance. So hit on the SAS and fire it up. 3, 2, 1, whatever it is that happens when you hit 0. Nice slow start, that is good. Sometimes you want to launch fast because it keeps craft more stable. Sometimes you want to launch slow. If you push too fast, you push against atmosphere too hard, it makes you wobble a lot. If you don't push hard enough, center of gravity, it shifts. Slightest little wobble will make you topple over. So far so good. This is the awkward part, where I have to talk to you like you want to listen to what I have to say. But really all I'm doing is watching all of the monitors and discombobulators and hoping that we don't die. And then at the same time hoping we do, because I express, you know, that I was not confident in this rocket design, and we've talked about this. That if I say a rocket will work, I should say a rocket will work, because if it doesn't, then I save day. If it does work, I knew all along, I am better hero, but I am pessimistic, I think. I think I always expect every single time I hit the start button to just blow up into a million pieces. I got very confident in Sandbox because you do whatever you want. You put struts everywhere, your craft could not break. You put lots of extra engines and fuel on. You know, you're worried about rocket not making it to orbit like this one. Just throw another red fuel tank on top of it. Alright, so we don't have any gibbling. If I try to turn this craft right now, it will not turn. But I really need to turn towards 90 degrees, because we are sending all of our thrust and torque straight up, which is not bad necessarily. We need to get out of atmosphere, but it would be nice if we didn't have to make up so much, you know, after we got up high in the sky. I want my thrust translate forward. It is great myth. Space is not above us. It is over there. It's straight to the east. Like Juliet. Juliet is space, that is what Shakespeare was writing about, little known fact. Alright, so now let's try and tip to the east. This is horrible turn. Okay, you do not want to just slam the ship over to the east. You want to move nice and gradual, much like you would treat Miss Juliet if you were trying to slam her. That was probably inappropriate, but I said it in a casual way, so small children did not notice. This is promised to you. If you are a small child, you did not notice what I did there. It is over your head. Alright. So, 400 meters per second almost. We're doing very good actually, a lot better than I thought we would. Once we get our apoapsis over 60,000 meters, we need to level off. So that we can translate, we can make up all this thrust we lost when we shoot straight up in the air. We're in orbital view, so we are right now going to shift over. I wait till orbital view, that means the computer thinks I'm going to orbit, so my apoapsis must be high enough that it thinks we're going to orbit. And if I have convinced computer that I am going to orbit, there is no reason I cannot convince myself. And I'm now suddenly regretting that because our apoapsis is not even 50,000 meters. And it is not going up very fast because I am not pushing up very fast. Alright, that was poor decision. Forget everything I said about tricking computer. Computer is dumb. We are people, we are smart. We have to take that into consideration. Especially since the orbit we want is around 90,000 meters. So we need quite a little bit of ups. We need to pump up our Air Jordans very far, okay? We got to keep pumping them until we are in space. Or until we black out from air lossage, because it sucks up all the air. Not a lot of people understand those shoes. They suck the air out of the air, you know, they pull it out. So if you pump them too fast, too hard, you create a vacuum around yourself and you suffocate to death. This is true science. I'm a true scientist. Kind of like vampires on TV show. So it was not science, I think it was something else. But it was true. Whatever it was, whatever they did, it was true. Alright, so we've got apoapsis that is not quite desired, but we need to think about actually getting to orbit. So we need to be careful. But we have dropped a considerable amount of weight. All we have to do is get our Rockomax decoupler and our engine into orbit. Nothing else matters. Let that apoapsis fly up to about 90,000 meters, and then we will level off at it. Because it will put us right in the prime range for these two missions we have to do. See, 89, 90. That is perfect. Look at all the fuel that we still have. We could maybe go to the moon if we wanted to, if that engine is worth anything, but we are not going to do that. Next time we'll change this around. Maybe we can bring this to moon for free return trajectory. I'm very impressed with this model. I was thinking to myself, Havin, if the craft stays straight up in the air, it will do very good. But there was a big question mark. It might not stay straight up in the air. Alright, so now that we are closing at apoapsis, let's just burn straight at this thing. Oh yes, we will make orbit nicely. Let's get a little bit closer to apps so we don't raise it up too much. We don't want to be more inefficient. We want to, if we can land with some of this fuel, I think we get money for that. Let's down to about 70. We're getting close to our target. Oh, we're at our target actually for both of these things. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have to make space trash. Okay, I just noticed this now. This is going to be the debris that will hang in space forever. But that is okay. That is somebody else's problem. That is next generation's problem. When all the space debris blocks off space forever. So here's what we do. We need to test this decoupler, which we do just simply by decoupling. And it didn't seem to register for some reason. That was the right decoupler, right? There is no other thing. Okay, so that is disheartening. We have all green checks. Let's try test this engine out. Okay, that worked. I don't know why the coupler didn't work. That is a giant waste of money we just did right there. That's what that is. We just wasted a lot of money for basically nothing. All right, let's get back to carbon. We lot of space trash up there is what we have. Space trash that is going to ruin carbon for everybody. But test failed. It happens. Happens in real life too. Let's just go home, not talk about it. If you know what I did wrong, and I'm sure somebody is saying, Havin, you did not do this thing you were supposed to do, let me know, and I will fix it. I think I know what I did wrong. Actually, I know exactly what I did wrong. You have to decouple, you have to hit spacebar. If you do it manually, it does not work, because it does not count as a test if you do it intentionally. So that was my mistake. And if I were playing with autosave and auto-QE, then I could fix that pretty easy, but we will have to instead add that to the next test. Which is probably disappointing to you. You were thinking, Havin, we were supposed to make $100,000, we were supposed to go to moon today. It's not going to happen. You have to get this out of your head. Okay, the moon, you want to see the moon? It is up here somewhere. Where is it? Okay, oh, there it is. That is the moon. That is as close as you are ever going to get to it. I'm just kidding, you will get much closer. You can get closer like 5 minutes from now. You close the video, you load up your game, you go to the moon. But you will not see me get there, unfortunately, today. Let us know why I sounded so bitter there. At the start of the episode, we said we want to go to moon, but we're not. And now I'm acting like I was supposed to go to moon right now. And I didn't go. Hey, look at that. That is our garbage right there. That is our garbage. Probably not debris. Oh, it's gone. It is out of naked eyesight. Alright, we are pretty low, and I got distracted talking to you, so I almost didn't deploy parachute. And I talked about earlier not burning all my fuel because I wanted to get money for it, and then I just hit into space. So that was again probably not good use of anything. And we land in the dark. So lots of problems so far. But I'm happy with the result. We made a lot of money. Okay, if I went to work today, okay, and went into work, we were high up. I wanted to burn that engine to save it, but whatever. We can get out of craft, alright, yeah. Let's get out of our craft and take a surface sample, get a little bit of science, and then maybe we can get more parts, better parts. Take our EVA report, get 2.4 science. It is hard to get back up there if it is not on ground level. We got to run and jump and grab it. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Ah. He keeps grabbing on and letting go. Let's get good running start. Come on. You are a Kerbal of the world. Make it happen. That's it stuff. Boardcraft. Alright, recover it so we can get everything back together. And survey says something. Okay, that is copyrighted phrase. I did not say it. Alright, do not report me to Game Show Network. They are the worst as far as litigation. Alright, so I got some science at least. I did not get all the money I wanted, but I got lots of science, so I can buy new things. I got a little bit of my money back. I got $330 from the 20,000 investment. Still no experience gain, but what are you going to do? Probably nothing, because you are helpless like me. Alright, so we got 86 of those. Let's go back and see if we can pick up other mission for orbit, so that we can try that Rocco Max decoupler. I don't have another 3-star mission, that is disappointing. There's this test engine again, but that is too fast. What else do we need to do at orbit? It is not a total waste of time. Okay, there's a radial mounted liquid engine in flight. 310 at 23 to 25, we might be able to hit that. What does it give us? 14,000 and 17 science. Let's try this. Let's try this one. I think we can do that with the design that we already have actually. So let's consider we need to get it close to the top of all of these things. The speed line is going to be pretty... How fast were we going when we hit 23,000? We were probably going faster than that, weren't we? But that is okay. What we will do... How do these radial mount engines want me to test? Right, they're 0.9 mass and 120 thrust. So we need 2 of them to match 1. These don't... Do they gimbal? Oh, they do gimbal. But only 5-degree vector range. Whereas this one has 1. That is... Oh, that is more, isn't it? I don't know. So let's go ahead. Get rid of this engine. And replace it with a couple of these. And we should be good to go. Just fix the stage there. All of that. And this time we'll go to orbit, we'll test these things at the appropriate height. We'll have to keep an eye on that if we have to activate them before we do that. But alright, that should be good enough. We'll call it probably not Mark II. Except we know that is now probably so. So let's go here. Oh, it is unable to launch. Oh, because of the what? Oh, the engine at the top. That is right. We no longer need this tiny little engine. Let's put... do we have a small engine? We don't. Let's go buy that other little engine that we saw earlier. Because we need a small engine for a small fuel tank. Otherwise it's going to cause big problems. So let's go in here, let's buy that little engine that we saw. We'll research it. We'll go back here, we'll pop that right in. And then we are good to go. Just to make sure staging is okay. Pop little tiny engine in under a big separation. Make sure those are not in the same stage. Alright, that is it. Let's do this. This time for real. Alright, let's make some space. Why bother with a long countdown? Let's just go. Let's bring up our terminal here. We have to test these radial mount engines. Oh, that is the one in the middle. I forget all about that little engine in the middle. Little engine in the middle. How much is that engine? Okay, this is... Like I said, this is awkward part. That I will make conversation, but I don't want to be too cutesy. What about engine parts? We should be big, strong, manly about engine parts. Because they are, you know, lots of power and stuff. Adrenaline. Look at all that flame and things that come out. I wonder if my car did that, if it would get me to move. Because it does similar things to this. I'm not going to lie to you, it shoots fire out the back sometimes. And his big problem is emissions violation. But here's the problem, okay? Globe they say is warming. I know him contribute to that. But we all want to make our mark on the world. I'm probably not going to do anything great with my life, okay? I've gotten to a point where I have not done anything great. I don't have anything on the horizon that is going to make me a well-known figure. But, you know, 1,000 years from now, my great-grandkids are roasting to death. I can say I had a part of that, alright? Those are my flames that are washing over you. And irradiating your genomes and making it impossible for you to breathe. That is Havin that did this to you. And they will remember me. Maybe perhaps not in the best of lights, okay? That is fair. That they would not like me, but at the same time, you know, we do not choose the moments that make us great. We do not choose the things that define our lives. Like, I did not choose that my purpose in life was to irradiate grandchildren. They did not choose that their purpose in life was to be irradiated by me. We waited a little too long to turn engine on. Let's move, let's tilt it to 90 degrees. And now we're watching very carefully But we don't go over 510, we don't go under 310, and we... oh, shoot. I was talking to you and I missed my window. Now we have difficult decision to make. We can let plane fall, or we can go to space. Well, I think we are going to do combination of both. We are going to let plane fall, and then we are going to go to space. So, here's how we do that. This might not work. I just want to point that out before we get too far with it. It's till we start to fall, and we have to make sure we do not exceed 510 meters per second. But as soon as we hit go, we've got to slam on the accelerator. Because there will be no time. We got to get to space so that we can make orbit, so we can do second test. Alright, we are approaching speed limit. To make sure that we do not go over it. In fact, we want to make sure that we don't actually lose too much under it. Did not go? Run test! Holy cow! Oh, shoot. Activate engine. Uh-oh. Alright, we complete test, but at what cost? Come on. Okay, this is not good. We're spinning wildly out of control. This was unintended, and it was entirely avoidable and my fault. Is that thing gimbaled? It is gimbaled, why am I not? Come on. It's back in there. Okay, this is not good. Alright, we have failed on a couple of different levels, but look at this. We made $15,000. How much did craft cost? More than that. So, maybe we have lost. Maybe all hope is lost. Or maybe we can pick it up right here. Come on. Let's go to space. There is still energy. Let's go to space, maybe. There we go. We are on our way to space. This is promise. Okay, we are going at 270 degrees. That is not what we want. Come on. Top part of the rocket is burning out faster than bottom. Alright, we're going to die again. Alright, it was a good idea, I think, to drop down, but we went too far and then I activate engine run. So, we don't know. I don't know what you expect me to do at this point, but there's no way to make this good. This is not like last mission where it all worked out in the end. This is end on failure. So let's just go ahead and see if we can land this thing without destroying all these engines. And in order to do that, how high are we going to go? 32,000. We'll deploy this parachute. We'll try for powered landing in water. So maybe we can at least save a little bit of money and make sure that we break even. Because we got science for that too, didn't we? Like 14 science points. So that is victory. If we break even on craft at least. And the jury is still out on that. Let's be fair. Then maybe it will have been successful mission because we got mission, reputation, we got science. Let's go here, deploy that. They say that it's more entertaining when you fail, but I don't think that my failures are the kind of entertainment that they are. Like if it blow up into a million pieces, like Michael Bay movie. That is fun, but I think my failure is this kind of blah. You know, like it is not, okay, lives are in danger, children are crying, day is saved. No, it is, okay, craft went a little sideways. So it does not go to space today. It is like most boring form of failure. It's like, we're going to space, yay! Craft is failing, oh, maybe we'll see somebody die. Oh, we're just going to land safely and not go to space. Oh, okay. Perhaps that is why NASA is suffer sometimes, because they don't want to kill people, which is natural desire, but you can't always go to the moon and to Mars and stuff. Alright. Let's see if we can do this without dying. So we need to slow down quite a bit. Oh, there we go. It's waiting for it. Seemed like should have deployed, but it did not. And I started to panic, because I do not have a lot of fuel left in this bottom engine for 34 and 53. So let us reduce our speed quite substantially, very quickly. Do not want to accelerate though. Alright, oh shoot. Right there, it all fall apart. So we'll recover a vessel and see how bad the damage is. We spent a lot of money and we did not get a lot in return. This will not end well. Very good. I should have gotten a sample of water. Why didn't you stop me? I would have got a water sample that would have given me another 2.5 science. Alright, so here we end. We do not have anywhere near enough money to upgrade this part, but I think we have the ammunition we need to get to the moon. Let's take a little quick look at science. Can we get the probe parts we need to maybe send probe to the moon? Yes, we can. Let's resolve. Well, we need electricity, I think. I don't know how fast electricity burns when you're doing this thing. What else can we get? We can get the bigger fuel engine with the radial parts. We can get our... Oh no, we do not have enough science to get that. Alright, how about this? We will revisit next episode how far we want to go. Do you want to see me try to get to the moon at all costs again? Or do you want to take nice slow measured pace? You let me know. Either way, we will do whatever it is we're going to do. But thank you all for joining me. Next time we will be back. And we'll be happy. And it will be probably after holidays. I'm not going to lie to you. It will probably be after holiday. But... that is my problem. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.